So today we continue our previous practical lessons and calculated task 2.2. On previous practical lessons we finished on special table. Now I share my screen. It was task 2.2 in our distance course, and we finished first part of this task. It is 2.2.1 about assessment of the weight of factors. I remember you that we have some characteristics of suppliers. It is in this table it is 15 characteristics, but every variant used only 6 characteristics for future calculation. Because we have the second table 2.2, and for every task we have some weights of every factors, and every variant has weights only for 6 factors. On previous practical lessons we finished on special table. Now I opened it. It is as example such type of table, and we find of for all factor weights. For all factors we had every variant had 6 factors, and we find this weights. The sum of all factors was 1 for every variant. So sometimes we could leave 2 point after comma, and sometimes we could correct it because the sum will be 1. It is the main result of this task. Finish this table and find all factor weights, and sum of this factor weights will be 1, is equal 1. It is the best result. Now we need to check our calculation and use these formulas from 2.6. Now I show it. We need to calculate it now these three formulas. 2.6 to find special parameter p with index p, find 2.7 and 2.8. And the result, if we have such result that O with index p less than 0.1, it is okay, all our calculation was good. So now we continue this task and calculated our formulas, our result. On previous lessons, we start calculation this formula of 2.6, but not finish, so we check all information about these formulas. Please write on your paper book or in your electronic document this calculation. P with index p is equal to, and we need to find such parameter in our table S and W. W with index F, it is weight for every factor what we calculated, and S, it is sums of difference between different factors. Now I show it in the table. So we need to multiply these parameters and find the sums of these multiplies. So now we find where is S and where is W. In our, maybe this example will be better to work with this example. For this table, it is you had the same table in your book or in your electronic document. It is the result of our previous calculation and previous lesson. So now we need to find last line of this table. It is amount S with index J. And we find one by one. For first factor we find S. For our example it is 1.87. And for first factor we find weight. For this example it is 0.48. And multiplied it one by one. So you write is equal to 1.87 multiplied on 0.48 plus 27, it is S yacht for second factors, 27 multiplied on 0.03 plus 14.53 multiplied on 0.09, and continue for all these 6 factors. Please do it now. and calculated the result, please. For your variant, of course. So we multiplied second line and second column, or not second, last, sorry, last line and last column, one by one, for all 6 factors. Now I show our formula, maybe it will be better now, and find summa of all 6 factors. We did it to control the correctness of the comparison of factors. The agreement indicator is calculated as the sum of the product of the sum of the value of the factors assessment in the row and in the column for each factor. So please calculate it and we continue. Think you need some minutes for calculation and we continue formula 2.7.
Two points after comma or three.
Yes, 2 points after comma will be enough. Okay. And now we continue and calculated formula 2.7. Then the consensus index is calculated as a result of distribution of the different number of factors by the difference in the number of factors and units. So please write on your paper book or on your electronic document, I with index P is equal to, and in the upper part of our formulas, we find the result of previous calculation formula 2.6 P with index P minus N. N for all variants, it is how much factors we have. For all variants, we have 6 factors. So N is equal 6 for all variants. So the result of formula 2.6 minus 6 and divided it on 5 because 6 minus 1 will be 5 for all variants. It is the same n. N is equal 6. Calculate it, please. Also, the result 2 point after comma will be enough. Okay. I hope you already calculated it. And now we start calculated formula 2.8. Next, the agreement ratio is calculated as a result of the distribution of the IP by a random index. X is index n. This index we find in our table E.3. It is random index value, and we need to know how much factor we had. And for all variants, we had 6 factors. So this random index will be for all variants 1.24. So for calculation formula 2.8, we write O with index P is equal to, and in upper part we write the result of calculation formula 2.7 and divided it on 1.24 for all variants. Calculated it, and we hope that the result will be less than 0.1. But I ask about it that not always we have such result, because sometimes we used during our calculation in this table, we leave only 2 points after comma if we calculate it, for example, in Excel or in other programs, and leave all parts points after comma, maybe the result will be more, how to say, no, more important, and we could find this check-in in the end. But because we used calculation with our calculator and other devices, not in Microsoft Excel or another program, so we could have something not in these parameters. But it is okay, so you calculate it and write the answer. The answer of this task 2.2. The answer will be that we find weights of all these factor weights. So you write that factor weights for factor 1 is equal to, for example, 0.48. For factor 2, f.2 is equal to 0.03. So it is answer for our task. And for all factors to factor f with index 6. It will be our answer, and we check this information, our formulas, 3 formulas for check-in that we all calculated, and the result will be O with index P is less than 0.1. You could write about it in our answer for this task. So it is weights of our factors, and the result, this parameter O with index P. Okay, please write answer after your all calculation about weight of every factor and about O with index P. Okay, we finished on this moment. I stopped sharing and stopped records.